Have you just upgraded to the Model Y Juniper and found out that the USB charging situation is just unacceptable? First off, you've got the cigarette lighter. It's a 16 volt up front in the front compartment, and then on the back compartment there's a single USB-C. But you have a phone charger, you've got your radar detector, your dash cam, a couple other accessories, and so you have all these cables trying to go in. And I tried putting together this thing here where in the front compartment I plug in a cigarette splitter, and I'm using a USB-C cigarette adapter here that plugs into one side, and then on the other side is my dash cam, and then I have accessories plugged in. And this is just unacceptable. I got cables coming out of the console. I don't want that anymore. There's no need for this. So I've struggled with it, and what I've come up with is a USB hub here. It's run by a cigarette lighter, so same kind of thing. On this end, there's two USB ports. There's an A and a C. See that there? And then on this one, it has 3 buttons to control the outlets here. And then in front of it, you can see there's 4 USB-As that you can use. And so what I plan to do is mount this underneath, run those wires for the charger, the dash cam, the radar detector, any other accessories that I have. And that leaves all these ones, which is 2, in the compartments available for other things. And these will be, because these are permanent things that I have in my car that I'm using all the time, and I just need them powered. So I'm going to mount this. It comes with Velcro, double-sided tape, and I'm going to mount this underneath the dash, and then I'm going to run this wire over to the left side here, and then I picked up this here, which is a 12 volt or cigarette lighter extension, heavy duty one. So it's got some pretty big girth cables here, and so it's got the cigarette lighter here and here. And what I'm going to do is I have a cigarette lighter port in the back that I'm not using, so I'm going to plug this cable into it and then run this along underneath the trim to the front. And then I'm going to plug this into here, and this part will be underneath the dash, hidden, and I'll be able to charge all those things that I have permanently mounted in my car from this. And if I need a USB-C right here for these ones, you can buy these adapters on Amazon. I'm going to put a link to all these items that I'm using in the description, or USB-A to USB-C. And then all I have to do is plug that into like that. And so I could have all 4 USB-Cs if I need. None of these things are high power. Cell phone chargers, probably the highest one. They're MagSafe Apple chargers. But everything else is super low, 5 volt, 1 amp or less, obviously, so it's not very much. And so this will easily do it. And it's a solution. It's probably not the best one, because this could be just hardwired into the battery, but then I wouldn't have the on-off power situation for the car. So this is what I'm going to do. So here's the situation. I have this enhanced auto device that uses power, and then I've got these cables kind of like sticking out and they're running along. I just want to be able to close this like it was like normal. I'll get this out of here. So I'd like to have it so I could close that thing properly like that, just the way it's supposed to. No wires. So that's my target. This one here, I can run the wire underneath the trim because this pops out pretty easy. Or I could put it in the back one here. It's a USB-A. It's an air freshener thing. But that's my target, is to have that close with no wires sticking out. Absolutely nothing. Back to like factory. Of course, I'll have to run the wires from these MagSafe pieces down underneath the dash and then to wherever I'm going to mount it. So I pulled off this panel right here, and then up here underneath the dash where the light is, it's just held in with magnets. So we can just pop this down. Used to be clips on the Model 3. And so that's where I ran the wire across the dash, and then I kind of put it in here and then back over. So for these ones here, I'm just going to run them down underneath here. So first off, I'm just going to run all these wires to a central location, so underneath here. I'm going to run the wire from here. It's going down along this trim, and I put it underneath that piece there, and then it's just underneath this trim that's right here. And so I just tucked it underneath there, and it's going to go to the back, and then I just have to put all this stuff back. So the next step was I just tucked the wire from the back, and then I passed it through here. And here it is here. So it's going along here, and then it's going to go, it went through this piece right here. I've got the wire run to underneath here. It's going to run all the way over to here, and then that's where I'm plugging it in. And then I run the hub wire up underneath the light plate, and then over to here. So there's a little bit of stuff going on over here. The wires are run to there. Everything's plugged in and working now. And what do I have over here? Nothing running over top. I've got just this one cable run underneath for the air freshener. But now I don't have any cables in the way at all. So I'll just close this up and we'll be done. So here's the final outcome. The hub is run. No wires are anywhere, and it's running along here inside the door jamb. Along this door jamb underneath to the back. And run over here, and this is the only wire that you'll see. And if I want to, I could probably wire that to the back of the plug, and then you wouldn't see it. So that's the solution to the cables down here. There's none anymore, which is really nice. And now I still have access to a cigarette lighter in the front and a plug in the back if needed. I do have the 2 ports in the back for the passengers if needed. And it looks somewhat neat. Again, the hub's down by my feet, but it's velcroed to the side. And there's additional ports there, so if I do get another device that I need to charge, I can easily plug it there if it's going to be a permanent solution. So that's the solution to one of the biggest problems with the Model Y, limited ports. And with a little bit of effort and a lot of running wires from the back to the front, it's complete. Now, I could have just hardwired that to or had that one hub go over the top here and then just plug in. That would have been the super easiest way to do it. But then I'd still have the issue of having a cable sticking up. I don't have that anymore. It looks clean. That's what I wanted, a clean looking install. We'll see how it works. Again, if you like this content, be sure to subscribe to my channel. And again, thanks for watching.